let's get started. Hmm? Okay, so can you guys hear me, or am I audible? Yes, okay, I think it's your mic. Hmm? Yeah, okay. Okay, so there is also Brooke alongside me. He's also a product designer at A2SV. He will also be presenting to you guys about Figma. Me, I'm going to present you just a high level idea of product design. So uh, we can start with what UI UX is, what UI is. Uh, can anybody guess what UI is? Are you? mm, Do anybody know what UI is? Can you react, or can you send me on the chat box? Anyone? Mm, okay, so already it is saying user interface. Yes. So uh, she's right. A UI is basically a user interface. It's the visual elements that our users view and interact with. So every product has a UI, which every user interacts with. So in short, UI design is the creation of visual and interactive elements that users interact with to complete tasks or achieve any goals. Uh, so the goal of a UI design is to create an intuitive and user-friendly interface, an aesthetically pleasing design, and also to guide users through the product. So if we have a good UI, we can achieve the 3 points that I mentioned here. So uh, this is UI, and also there is also UX. So I think you guys are also familiar with the term UX. It is user experience. So user experience is basically the interactions and the experience of the user while using our product. So how they feel. So UX focuses mainly on the overall experience of using a product. It includes emotions, perceptions, and behaviors of our users. Uh, so UX design mainly focuses on understanding our users' needs. Uh, and so to do that, we use creating user flows, testing, and also iterating. So it mainly focuses on the needs of our users. So uh, that is UX. So how do we evaluate the UX? Uh, so we evaluate the UX by conducting a test, user test. So it is the experience and what was the term? So it is the experience and smooth, intuitive, or clunky and confusing. Uh, so does navigating the app feel logical, or does it feel arbitrary? So does interacting with the app feel efficient, or is it do the user have to struggle using the app? So we need to ask all these questions to evaluate our UX. So for a product to have a better user experience, it needs to take the above points. Uh, so UX versus UI. This is a simple illustration that shows their difference. UX is more of on the interactive design. It includes wireframes and prototypes on the process. It has information architecture. On the UI side, it is more on visual design, colors and brand, graphic design, layouts, typography. So this is UI is more of on the visual side. UX is more of on the foundation and on the experience side. Uh, okay, so to give you one example, real life example. So uh, this is a ketchup bottle. So one of it has a more slimmer and thinner design. The other is more bulky. So the first design might look interesting and beautiful, but when we come to its experience, it might be annoying. So we all know this ketchup bottle. It's hard to get the ketchup out of it. But if we make the bottle more wider on the bottom, the user can get the ketchup out very easily. So this is just to show that user experience is more important than the UI. So this was a beautiful UI, but with a bad experience. So this is the overall idea. So one of the points is user satisfaction. This leads to a greater product adoption, customer loyalty, and positive recommendations by the users who use our product. So it also helps our competitive advantage. A product that is easier to use and has a better user experience can stand out from its competitors and gain more competitive advantage. It also increases engagement, which can lead to higher usage rates and increase our revenue. It can also improve our brand perception. Uh, our users will more likely associated with a positive impact. Uh, uh, so it also has reduced development cost. If we start with a bad UX, we might have to iterate multiple times to find, you know, uh, to do a better product. So if we start with a good UX, we can reduce our development cost. So when doing UX, UI UX, there is an approach called design thinking. So it's more of uh, user-centered process. So it starts with understanding the user and doing some research. Then there is an ideation phase. Also, after that, there is a design phase and prototype, then test and evaluate, then iterate. So in a design thinking approach, we should always do this. Uh, so we can dive deep into this on the next slide. So understanding the first phase is to understand our user and what they need and what the product goal is. We mostly do this by conducting stakeholder interviews. The stakeholder being they might be our users or also our client. So we have to ask clearly what they want, what the product goal is, and what we want to achieve. So this will help us understand the product more and propose a better solution. So in the next phase, there is a research phase. So in the research phase, there is also an interview, a user interview. Uh, sorry, a user interview. We also do competitor analysis. We create personas, and we also use surveys and analytics that are already existing uh, that we can relate to our product. So when we come to the user interview, we ask basic questions that are relevant to our products. For example, here, if we are building a ride-sharing app, so we can ask similar questions. So how do our users typically choose between ride, which is the existing dominating ride-hailing app in Ethiopia, and its competitors? How do they choose between them? What are the most important features you look for a ride-sharing app? Can you walk me through the process of requesting a ride using, some other app? Can you describe a time? Mm, okay, someone's mic was on. I think let's continue. Okay, so the user interview is more to understand what the user wants. Uh, so we need to do that. So in the next steps, we can also do competitor analysis. We can pick one or two or three of our competitors, and we can choose our common features, what we want to incorporate, and it's just comparing what they do better, what the other competitors do better, or what they lack of. So on what they're doing better, we can copy it into our designs, and on what they're lacking, we can also improve their process and design and include it into our designs. So competitor analysis is very important. So next, there is creating user personas. So when coming to user personas, it's mostly to understand our users, to see, to empathize with our users. So the whole point is to empathize with our users. So when creating a user persona, uh, it will help us not to think, as a developer or just as a UI UX designer. We can just neglect our personal needs and personal, biases and start designing for the user. So this user is just, it can be a fictional character or it can be an aggregate of the user interviews that we did. So there is a bio goals. What are the goals of our user while using this design? The needs, the challenges to use this type of product, the frustrations. So this will help us uh, understand our user better and try to see it from the user point of view instead of our biased ideas. Mm, okay, so next up is the ideation process. The ideation process involves in sketching, inspiration, looking for inspiration, wireframing, and prototyping. So let me show you some examples. Sketching means and wireframing are basically the same. So sketching, we can do it on a paper or maybe on a software. We can do it on Microsoft Paint, on Word, on Figma. So it's just laying out the first foundations of the design. So here we don't have to include colors and uh, details that are unnecessary. This is just to set the structure and uh, the overall, to understand the overall flow of the product. So it's just better to do it in black and white. uh, so the next one is an example of a low fidelity sketch. This has low details. It's just about the structure of, more about the structure of the page. And the first one, the first image that you see is a high fidelity design. It has images, colors, and some real life text. So we always go from the sketch, from the low fidelity sketch to the high fidelity sketch, to the high fidelity design. Okay, these are some examples of high fidelity designs. So wireframing is basically the same, but we mostly we do it on tools, and we also map out the flow, but it's basically the same. But one thing to note here is not to focus on on the contents, the text, the color, and images. It's just to set a basic foundation and structure of our product. So the last process is the design process. So this is more of on the visual side. We have branding, visual UI design, and prototyping. So on the branding side, we focus more on colors, typography, and so this is more of on it's branding. It's it focus on the look and feel of our UI. So we need to emphasize especially on the typography and the colors here. Uh, so visual design is using all our typography, color, iconography, and compositing it and into creating a beautiful UI. So we need all the previous items to create this beautiful UI. So this is the visual UI design. We include all the interactive elements. We include colors, typography, everything. So this is the visual UI design. After that, we do prototyping. So all of the things that we designed were static. So to have a better experience, and especially for testing before development, we can give prototypes to users to test it. So prototyping is also important. It just makes it dynamic and interactive by mapping out all the pages together. Okay, so there is a video here. This is just a simple prototype. Mm, So before developing our UI, we can do a good prototype and give it to some users, and we can do some user testing. Okay, so finally, there are key traits and skills that can be helpful to be a better UI UX designer or a product designer. So one is creativity. So we need to be creative. We need to be, interesting with our design picks, colors, typography. So that's an important trait. Also, we need to pay attention to detail. We need to be, very picky uh, with, our design choice. And three, empathy. Empathy is more of understanding our users, to be on our user side. So we do this by implementing the design thinking approach that I presented to you, you know, just now. So collaboration is more of working together with the development team. We don't have to just do a good UI and just give it to the developer to do the implementation. We have to guide the developers through the process. So if we have to check if the the design is implemented very well. So number five, it's analytical thinking. Analytical thinking comes down to solving problems. So we're not just designing visual elements. Uh, we're also solving problems. So we need to have analytical skill, thinking skill. Uh, so this is it. The number six, we need to be adaptable, and we need also to have a technical skill. Uh, so on the technical skill side, Brooke is here to give you a quick review on Figma and its best practices. So, Brooke, can you hear me?
Still, like nothing, like normally what needs to be done there, oh, you gotta be like doing something to finish it, like so the urgency is not there. This is my observation. Collect more than 50 members. Check out the Jira box.
If you guys have any questions about the things that I presented, you can ask away. But if not, Brooke can continue over from here.
Okay, guys. Hello, everyone. Can you guys hear me? Let me just check if you can hear me. Okay. All right. So, okay, my name is Brook Madrasa. I am a product designer at A2SV. So I'm gonna show you what the Figma, and I also gonna show you. Yeah, I guess we are here. So we're gonna see how to use components, how to use variants, styles, constraints, auto layouts, and plugins using Figma tool. So we're gonna start by how to set up Figma. So I'm just gonna use maybe Tampmail for that. So first let's go to figma.com. Okay. So so here is a page that we can get started, and so first let's create an account. So I'm gonna use, as I told you, I already have Figma for myself, so I'm just gonna use Tampmail for now. But you guys can use your personal or like A2SV email, and then paste that. And, Let me just. Okay. Subscribe. Like they can send you like updates on your email, so you can check this one. And let's create. So guys, but first let me just make sure that if you can hear my voice clearly.
This is very, they can control, but they can be
Okay, easy. Okay, so
like later comes down, or these kinds of lectures.
I literally don't know why it's loading. Time is too much.
Focus to add something.
Um,
There was this week, right? Finally, yes. In this language, they don't answer. But now it looks very simple. It's not like this old hand figures like it's like very nice. Does it tell you like anything types or are these small ones?
okay, I guess
Yes.
I'm just gonna use a Figma, my Figma. Okay, this email is already taken. Okay, so so, anyways, how was like? Let me just go to my Figma. Like it is actually like a bit simple to set up a Figma. You all can do that by yourself. Let's just go to Figma. This is a desktop version. There are like two ways to use Figma. First one is like you can use a web version, and the second one is we can download the desktop app and we can use that. So like I usually like open different tabs, and I don't know why I just I forgot to close. So maybe if you are new to the Figma and if you are setting up a Figma like from like if it is new, like you probably you're not gonna see like many files like this. Like it might be totally empty. So like you can see two main tabs, two main tabs in here. So this one is a fig jam tab. So most of the time we use this tab in order to like create some mood boards. Like we can have like wireframes. We can also use it for like a sketch and for brainstorming and for others such kind of things for a fiction. But usually like what you guys need to understand how to design like a UI. So of course you understood what the UX is. Like the I guess the only thing left is the UI. So let's click that and
Oh, and it's very strong. Very strong.
okay, this is a new file that you can see. So just to walk you guys through this, the upper one is like a tool selection bar. Like you can, it's a toolbar. You can select like multiple designing tools from here, and also you can like you can see your layers in order to like make them auto layouts and groups and to delete and everything. You can use this part, and then at this part you can actually just see your design. You can like you can see on your you can see your constraints and other stuff. Like we will see that later. So this is just like empty Figma. So we're gonna design we're gonna design something, some prototype. maybe I was thinking to design those two those two pages. Okay, those two pages, and we can prototype them as well. So let's just screenshot. Let's just screenshot it. Okay. So let's go to our Figma. Let's just paste this. So we're going to like implement those two pages. So before that, actually, like if you want to create a professional UI design, first you're gonna need to create your component page, and let's say, for example, this one might be our component page, and we can actually add another page for style guide page. And then we can also create low fidelity. Maybe if you are designing a mobile, then we can rename it like this, and then we can also create like a high fidelity mobile. If there is also a web, you can also add like a multiple page, just like this, and then like on the component side, usually what we're going to add is like different buttons and like icons and etc. Like in order to have like a consistent design, first we just need to create like our components. Like for example, if you want to use like if you are just using a plugin in order to just in order to have icons, if you use plugin, you might have like different types of icons. Like for example, there is like a rounded type of icon. There is like outline type of icon. And there is also like a field type of or a bold type of icon. So in order to avoid this kind of inconsistency, we might need to create our own components. We can actually we can use or we can download the icon set. For example, in the just in a Figma community. Figma community is like you can go to the homepage and then explore. Here is Figma community. So in the community, you can actually like see you can have different icons or buttons or style guides. For example, if I want to have like consistent icons, I can search icons here. So most of the time, I actually use for my design. I use the icon sacks. It consists of up to 6,000 icons, like different versions of the same icon. Like I guess it is 6 versions of one icon. So, for example, up here you can see like a bookmark icon. So you can have like 6 types of a bookmark icon. So in icon sacks, you can just go to this page, and then you can copy and paste on your on your component page the icons. And of course, at the same time, you can also create a buttons. For example, if we want to create a button, first let's just make it a bit grayer so that we can see the stuff that we're doing. So okay, let's just go to our style guide first. So in order to create our styles, style is, for example, there is a style for our text. There is also a style for our color. So in order to create that, first let's just create a text style. For example, if I am designing like a mobile app, so most of the time, the simplest or the smaller I can the smaller text size might be 10, and then I can choose like different font types like installed by you can just say all fonts, and then like most of the time the inter is what people choose, or you can actually use Poppins or Railway, like different there are different fonts that you can use. Let's just use the inter one, and then it is 10, and I'm not actually gonna use this style guide, but let me just show you how to create one of them. So the title. So let me just zoom it so you can see that. So this is size 10, but most of the time for the title we might even make it 24, and then like we can make it like a semi bold, and then so like you will go to like in order to create a style, you might need to go to this style like when you hover it, you can see that it says style, and then there is a plus button here. You can create that style, so you can rename it as title, and then you can leave the description, and you can create. So you just created your title style, and then so okay, let me just show you. So if I pressed Alt on my keyboard, and then I can see like two cursors at the same time. So I'm gonna duplicate this one, and then I'm gonna detach this, and then I can this might be a subtitle, and then I might reduce that to 18. Then this one maybe to the medium one, and then I go to this, and then I create this style, and then this is subtitle, and then create. So okay, this is it, and then I can create my styles as well. Sorry guys, like it's a bit crowded up here, so okay. So this is the way that you can create your style guides, and then let's go to the how to create colors. So in order to create our color style guide, let me just okay. So let me just draw a rectangle, and then so we can actually use maybe, for example, we are implementing this one. So for that reason, let's go right here, and then so the color of this one might be like this light blue color. Okay, let me just. Oh, okay, that's too much. Okay, so this might be my. Let me just create that, and so like the fill will be our style. So I'm gonna I'm gonna hit this one, and I'm gonna like this might be my primary color, and then I can create the style. So if you actually like click to nothing, and you can see that I created this style, and then maybe as a secondary color from this one. Okay. Okay. So as I told you before, if I pressed Alt and then I can drag it like this so that it can duplicate, and then I can detach this one, and then I create, and I can see that here is a secondary color. So I can like plus I can add as this is my secondary color. So this is it. I created my two styles, my primary and secondary style. Of course, in order to like have like different colors, we might even need to have like a neutral color as well, like to use that for our texts. Like for example, so in this design, there is a primary color here, and then uh, this is actually a secondary color, and then like on the general and other colors, those are neutral colors. This is like a bold neutral, and this is like a medium neutral color. So you can create like such kind of colors, and then you can create your styles, so that like whenever you are designing a UI, whenever you are designing or anything, like you don't need to like create. For example, let me just draw a rectangle, and then if I want to have like my primary color on it, I don't have to need like go to and pick a color and then this one. That would be like a bit difficult, and the consistency might be like an issue. So I like I can draw a rectangle, and then like if I go to the three dots, so I can see like my primary and secondary color. If I change to primary, so the fill of this rectangle will be like primary color. So that is like the meaning of like a style guide and how to create the style guide. And then like on the component side, as I was trying to tell you, we can actually just like create up buttons. For example, let's create just one button, like for example, I can press T in here, and then I just this is it, and then most of the time our buttons, for example, for mobile, like it might be 12, and then you can make it as regular, and then there is a frame called like auto layout frame. So like if you press shift and then auto and shift and A, like you can see that I created an auto layout frame. So the difference between normal frame is like right here. So this is a frame. If you just press F, you can see that. So this is just a frame. For example, like if you pressed F, and you can see like different versions of a frame. Like for example, if you are designing a mobile app, you can have like different frames right here. So those are already predefined frames. So like the difference between an auto layout and normal frame is, for example, let me just duplicate the internal, the text only, and then let me just add it inside a frame. So like I can drag the text like wherever I want, but like inside a frame, it is already consistent. Like I can select like the horizontal and vertical paddings and the space between the items. Like the space between the items means, for example, if I duplicate this one, the button, it already like predefined. Like the space between items is already 10. So it is actually a bit nice to use auto layout rather than normal frame. So let me just delete those. So we are actually creating a button. So we wrote a text and then we make it auto layout, and then let's just say the horizontal padding might be 16, and then the vertical could be like 8, and then we can fill. But I'm not gonna just press the fill button. But what I can do is, like, I can select this one, and then I can see, like, I already have like a predefined color here, and then I click that, like the internal, like there is a contrast issue that I can see right now. So I'm gonna change the text color to white. White is right here. So guys, like, you don't have to select every time the colors, but on the style guide you need to like already set up like every text colors, frame colors, and etc. We just don't have that much time just to create everything now. So I can also create the cornering. So I can just make it 100 so that it can be like a full like rounded button like this. And then let me just rename it. Like, in order to rename it, you can go to here and then button. Okay. So, and then you can make this one component. Like, I'm not sure if you can say this one. And then if you press that one, you just made it already a component. And then again, after I created a button, I created a component, I can add a variant. Like, a variant is like different versions of like the same button. Like, if I press this one, it will duplicate and then show me like this. So let's just see. So the secondary button, it looks like it does have like a secondary color stroke like this, and then there is darker versions of the darker version of the text. And so let's change that. So if I click this, I can go to the secondary, and then actually the stroke is we're gonna use the stroke, and then we don't need any fill, so that's we have the same kind of button like this, but the internal, the white one, like it could be our secondary. So we just created a variant of like this button. Like, for example, if I copy this one, and then let me just paste it, or let me just paste it right here. Okay. Let me just, I can just drag it like by pressing Alt, just like this. So I can see that I didn't actually rename this one. This is a default. Maybe this you can primary, and then this is our secondary button. So like on the outside, like this is a version of this one. So I can select this one, and then I can like make it a secondary or primary. So this is just what the meaning of component and variant. So we're gonna use this button. We're gonna use this one. So on the left side, there is the assets panel. So if you go to there, so I already created one component which says a button. So like I can drag it like this, so that like I can reuse it like as much as I want. For example, if I like this is my original button. So if I change, for example, if I change primary to secondary, like every buttons will change their colors. So this is it. Maybe let me just let's create this this page. Okay, so let's just go to the layers, and then we already defined like high fidelity mobile. So for a low fidelity mobile, like Yosef was trying to tell you what the wireframe is. So on the low fidelity part, you can you can design your lo-fi design. So now we don't have like much time for that one. So we just go to the high fidelity design and let me just paste this one. I already copied that before. Okay, so in order to so in order to design this one, first we might need to already prepare uh, like uh, like this is an icons. So I previously told you that how you can find like a pre-setted icons like from Figma community. You can also find it from the plugin, but you might have like inconsistent type of icons.
Yes, can you hear me?
So if I open up the Iconify is like a plugin, which is we can reuse like this Iconify like in order to find different icons. So for example, like at these parts, I do have
Okay, okay. Let me write. Let me push this line.
okay, if I just wrote left, I can say this one, so I can
Yes.
import it to my design. Okay, let me just update. Okay, and there's also like I can see a search bar here, a search icon. So search. So I can use just one of them. Okay, it's already imported, but okay, it's just right here. Okay, I also need art, this one. So let me just track this one. I also need like a field version, but I don't need that actually. So this is it, and there I also need filter. Um, okay, we just can use this one maybe. You can actually find like a perfect filter like this if you just change your page. I already saw that this one. Okay, and then what do we need other than that? We might need like a star here. So it's a field version, like it's a field version, so I can use this one. Okay, so I guess we're done on on finding our icons. So in order to find the icons, like let me just walk you through again. So there is you can search for Iconify, and then you can use this one. It's a plugin that you can find it on the Figma plugins list.
So
And
basically,
yeah, I guess we're done on the finding our icons. So let's just okay. First, I might need. Let me just
so you have access.
drop
You
it
want me to
right
share
here.
the public at gmail.com?
Okay, I guess we need to increase this one a bit.
Or if you're using organizational email, it's a lot easier. Yes, okay, so we are about to share the document with you. So you
Okay,
can see the university
so this
design
is
from
it.
that background photos.
Okay, and then this one is a text. Like if we press the T, we can search. I just overwrite on it. Like it actually feels like it's I don't know, maybe yeah, medium might be enough. 12, like you can make it to 14, and then we can duplicate this one right here. So it says Dr. Dot Kaniz FX. So I put it like this one, and then I'm gonna select this one and I'm gonna drag it right here. Okay, so I'm gonna like make both like two of them auto layout, like to make it to draw auto layouts. It's just press Shift and A on your PC, and then uh, like you can give the Paddington to the whole above. It might be 10, I guess. And then the left, you can also give it as a 10 or maybe 16. We can actually like do it like this. And then not, I just want my details like at the middle. And then I can like in order to have this stroke, we just need to create this one. And then we will select our primary color. We're gonna give the okay. So the internal colors might be like just okay. This can be our neutral color. Okay. So this is it, and then we can use. Okay, let's drag it right here, and then we can make it auto layout, like in order to have like we can give it 10 and 10. Actually, like the already this one is the height is 44, so we can actually can make it 44, and then also we can also make it this one 44. And then we can also like create the stroke secondary, I guess. And then 100 over that's okay at the middle, and then this color will be our primary color. That's it. So in order to like use this one, we already created like a button from our style guide, and then I go to the assets panel, and then I can drag it just right here, and oh, so we can reuse this one, and then we can duplicate this one, and then we can make it to secondary, and it says general. Okay, I can just make this both of them like as an auto layout, and then the space between the items might be like 12, and then I can duplicate this one, and it says nutrition, I guess. Nutrition. And then I can duplicate, and then I can maybe just others kind of button, and then I can also like duplicate this one right here, and then let's rename it as pen font. And then let's duplicate this one of, again, and then it says and we can change the color to primary, and also like we already like created this filter. It's not actually the same, but we can actually find it like a similar filter icon. Okay. this is it. So we just finished the above one, except the time indicator bar at the above, and you can actually find it this kind of already pre-prepared time indicator bars for Apple or for Android on Figma community, and then we can actually create this one as well. So in order to create that, we can just create a rectangle just like this. Okay. Okay, and then like the color, like the in order to have like a background image, we can go to a plugin. Like you can search for Unsplash is our best like image. You can find different types of image in Unsplash plugin. It's I guess loading. Yeah, this is the Unsplash plugin, and then you can search for like female doctor, and you can have like any doctor that you want right here. So I click this one, and then if I press this image, so it will like directly use it for this one. Okay. So like let's just give it a corner to 12, I guess. So it is similar like that. And then let me just use this one and Dr. Kanzi for so let me just reduce this one a bit, and then I can do this one, and then let me just create another
Böyle biraz zor oluyor hocam
make
sesli soldan
here
şey yapayım.
space. So that is
Hocam o zaman bana bir 5 dakika verirseniz alarm da çok kısa. Onun da zaten bir şey var. Biz... Tamam hocam.
okay. So let's just in order to give it like a text color hierarchy, we just need to a bit reduce this one. Then I can duplicate this one.
Abi, can you hear us?
It says ICG
Okay, perfect. So,
kind of thing. And then I can make this one as auto layout. And then I also have like this star button, star icon. I can duplicate this one, and then like I can reduce it by 18 or maybe 16, and then like the color will be like just like this. The dark color will be just like this, and then I can put it just right there. Then it's going to take like a bit longer than I expected, but okay, 5, and then one reviews. We can also change this one to primary. Nice. And then we can make it all of this as an auto layout. So I can make like everything right here. Okay, I also need to make a heart icon right here. So I'm gonna copy this, or I can I can drag it, and then Okay, and then I can change the color to this one. So this is it. So I already created this one. So okay, for this one, maybe I can like make this one in one auto layout, and then this one I can, or I can actually create both of them like at the same, and I can reduce this one, and then with this I can like make them of course auto layouts, and then like if you see there is a horizontal and vertical padding right here, so I can create that by maybe I can say 12 12, and then I'm gonna make it a fill color will be this one, and it will be like okay. So this is uh, this is what we actually like designed. So we can actually make this one a component, so that this is doctor card. So we already created like a component. So let's just copy that, and then we can move this one in our components page. So, and then we can like paste it right here, and we can also paste another one right here. Uh, let's just make them auto layouts. Okay, so the space between the items might be like 16, and then we're gonna need how much? Like one, two, three, four, five, like five doctor cards. So one, two, three, four, and we can duplicate, and then we already have like five cards right here, and then we can like put it right here. Like if I actually like drag this one a bit here, so I can see like a clear like things that I already designed. Like I can select all of them, and then if I pressed like Control Alt G, it will create like a frame, or we can actually make it. Okay, I guess this is a bit better. Okay, and then we can like fill this one.
Hani o tarz işleri de yapan mesela böyle sizin oyun falan dahil sizin de yakın zamanda partner oldunuz.
So just like this, you can actually like create one page. But of course, like I needed to have like to create like the time indicator and other stuffs like this. And I think we don't have that much time like to design like those three pages. But I hope you learn it some basic terms like how to use our components, like variants, how to create our style guides, uh, and everything. So I guess this is like a bit uh, longer than like I expected. So guys, if you have any questions, now is a good time to ask. Mm, okay, guys, is there anyone who has any questions like regarding the Figma, or if you just have any problems on a Figma? Okay, the responsiveness. Okay, I can see. So in order to have like a responsive design, first we're gonna we're gonna use auto layouts as I tried to show you. Like if you use auto layouts on your design, it will be much easier. And then in order to have responsive UI, you need to design for for a desktop version, for a tab version, and like for a mobile version. Uh, I guess that is for a responsiveness question. Like if you have any further questions about Getachew, you can ask me more. Or if you didn't understood what I just said.
Şeye sorabiliriz. Yayıncılarına sorabiliriz.
Okay, thumbs up if you get this one right. Or okay, I see. I see. So, do we have Feroz or Galila in our meeting? Okay, conditional response is not working on me because my Figma is limited. Oh yeah, I can see. Actually, like to have like a responsiveness, as I was trying to mention it before, like we designed separate pages for desktop version, for tab, and for a mobile version. So I guess it doesn't need like Figma Premium. I'm not sure about that, but it doesn't ask Figma Premium for this one. Okay, and also you can guys contact me. Uh, if you if you just search this one on your Slack, you can find me and you can contact me further, or you can ask me like further questions. And also, this is also my email. You can also contact me by this mail. Okay, so I finalized my okay. Thank you guys. By the way, if you have any questions for Yosef as well, you can contact him. Like his name is Yosef Karayesus. Okay, thank you guys. I guess. Okay, guys, if Feroz or Galila or anyone with the community like education head is not here, we already like done our session.
Hani şey olsun. Hani sadece adamlara bir bu olmasın. Hani sen çalışıp istediğin bir şey yap. Hani kısa bir e-mail atsan bana.